Never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose. Keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia. Talking Liberia the real way.
Never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose. Keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia. Talking Liberia the real way.
None of you can deny that what I'm saying is the truth. You know it's the truth. But either you won't write it, or you're too cowardly to speak it because you want some favor here or favor there. So because you can't talk, you are muzzled. I'm not. I'm a free black man. And I didn't come here looking for a handout. And I really don't think you need one. Your problem is that you think you need a handout. Everything you need is right under your foot, but you're looking everywhere else for help instead of to yourself and what you can produce for yourself. This is Africa's dilemma. You are parading yourself before the world as international beggars when you gave civilization to the world. Your problem is not America. Your problem is not Israel. Your problem is not Britain. Your problem is your disunity and your dependence on others to do for you what you could do for yourself. So I don't have to come back here anymore to help you. The help is already here. The knowledge is already here. The land is here. The sun is here. The water is here. The minerals are here. You have some of the finest minds in the world, but they're in Europe and they're in America making money while Africa suffers. Why don't we create politically stable environment and call the children of Africa back home to help build Africa? We are your children. And we will come and help. But don't expect us to come with billions of dollars when we don't have it. We're struggling in America. But you got it all right here under your foot. And you should be ashamed not to look to yourself, begging white folk to give you what you could give yourself. What I said today, which one of these countries is going to give you $20 million? America's not going to give you $20 million. You got it right here, but your disunity won't allow you to pool it. It's your fault, and you got to accept that responsibility. That is why my message is atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. We got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and see what is our responsibility. None of you can deny that what I'm saying is the truth. You know it's the truth. But either you won't write it, or you're too cowardly to speak it because you want some favor here or favor there. So because you can't talk, you are muzzled. I'm not. I'm a free black man. And I didn't come here looking for a handout. And I really don't think you need one. Your problem is that you think you need a handout. Everything you need is right under your foot, but you looking everywhere else for help instead of to yourself and what you can produce for yourself. This is Africa's dilemma. You are parading yourself before the world as international beggars when you gave civilization to the world. Your problem is not America. Your problem is not Israel. Your problem is not Britain. Your problem is your disunity and your dependence on others to do for you what you could do for yourself. So I don't have to come back here anymore to help you. The help is already here. The knowledge is already here. The land is here. The sun is here. The water is here. The minerals are here. You have some of the finest minds in the world, but they're in Europe and they're in America making money while Africa suffers. Why don't we create politically stable environment and call the children of Africa back home to help build Africa? We are your children. And we will come and help. But don't expect us to come with billions of dollars when we don't have it. We're struggling in America. But you got it all right here under your foot. And you should be ashamed not to look to yourself, begging white folk to give you what you could give yourself. What I said today, which one of these countries is going to give you $20 million? America's not going to give you $20 million. You got it right here. But your disunity won't allow you to pool it. It's your fault. And you got to accept that responsibility. That is why my message is atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. We got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and see what is our responsibility.
Never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose. Keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia. Talking Liberia, the real way.
Let us use it well. From the east to the west, to the north and the south, empower yourself in.
And yes, indeed, this is the program Real Talk Liberia on Image TV with me, David, as your presenter, and welcome you to another splendid edition of the program Real Talk Liberia. This is where we talk Liberia the real way.
Carry no time for trouble, let's sing it.
So wherever you are, however you join us, I would like to say a pleasant good afternoon, good evening, good morning, based on your geographical location from wherever you are watching us from. And I just hope that you are doing well and you are thinking positive about your nation, thinking positive about your family, thinking positive about the world at large. For this too is Liberia, and only positive thinkers can indeed move the nation forward. So wherever you are, however you join us, this is how I would like to welcome you to another interesting edition of the program Real Talk Liberia, where we talk it as we see it. We bring it with our Shuko coordinate. My name is David Siwalu and I'm your presenter. And today we have a lot of interesting discussion that we are going to be taking a look at. But interestingly, we are going to be looking at the issue of Ebola. You know, this is something that we have to keep on talking about because hearing the name Ebola takes our memories back to 2014. When we went through all of those hardships, those health crises, we lost family members, we lost relatives, we lost loved ones. And again, we are hearing the reason resurfacing of the Ebola virus in other African countries. And well, there have been a series of news that has to relate to the issue of people are traveling from that country and they are entering into Liberia. What is being done? What is the surveillance that the health team are carrying on now? Are they tracing people? Are they trying to quarantine people that are coming from other countries? Well, this and many more we are going to be looking at on today's edition of the program, Real Talk Liberia. So wherever you are, however you
Matter
doing
how
us,
much pain inflicted on her.
I say just stick and still. Don't you go away, for we have a lot of interesting things that we are going to be talking about. The program Real Talk Liberia is divided into three segments. The first segment is where we bring you the reading of major news story, major happenings in the country. And the second segment is where we have our reporters will be calling in to give us on the spot information of issues that are ongoing where they are reporting from. And then the final segment of this program is the talking point, and that is where we have a specific topic that we are going to be talking about. So I'll just ask you that wherever you are, please help us. You can do your contribution in the comment section. You can also help us to invite others to follow this discussion. Or if you want to be a part of this discussion, you check in the comment section, you will see the link. You click on the link and you will come live onto this program. And together we are going to be having ourselves a wonderful time. So before we get into the first segment of this program, which is the bringing you of major happenings, major news story that is happening around the country, let's take this break, after which we will be right back. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say, I love, eh. Day not break, everybody on the hustle. Some people know like peace, they want some trouble. Crime rates on the increase. The government can protect the people. Hold up, no justice for the poor. Yeah, look the way we're living. We're treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living. We're treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living.
And I tell you, yes, indeed, this is not how we should be living at a stage and time where we should have been a united country. Instead, we are all living divided. We are all treating each other wrongly. This is not right for Liberia. And we, as people, we as citizens of this great nation, should not be living the way we are living currently. So let's put our hands together. Let's come together as one nation, one people, united for the progress of our country, and make sure that we do all we can to move Liberia further. Well, folks, if you're just joining us, a pleasant welcome. This is the program Real Talk Liberia with me, David. And as I said, we have three segments of this program. The first segment is the reading of major happenings in the country, and the second segment is where we have calls from our reporters across the country, and then the last segment is where we have our talking point, that is the real talk, and where we have a specific topic that we bring to you. And as I also mentioned, if you want to be a part of this program, you can just check in the comment section of Image TV, and you will see the link that you can use to join on live. And together we will be in the studio and you have your say. And then if you also do not have the chance to join, you can call us on WhatsApp, and the number are 07, that is 0886 960794. Coming up shortly, you will have the numbers on the screen, and you can use the number to call in and be a part of the program. So wherever you are, however you join us, I just hope that you are good in health and with a sound mind, and that you are thinking about doing something positive or doing something positive that will benefit you or the nation Liberia at large. But this too is Liberia, and all we need are positive thinkers, people with positive thinking that can move our nation forward. That is all that we need now. We do not need segregation, we do not need division, we do not need to bring chaos in the country. All we need is to put our heads together and move the country forward. So, coming up shortly, I will be bringing you the bulletin of news of major happenings across Liberia. So that asks that you stay tuned. I'm trying to get the WhatsApp number up. Okay, now you have the WhatsApp number up, 0886 That is the WhatsApp number that you can call to be a part of this discussion to make whatever points that you have. So, let's now bring you the reading of major stories that are happening in the country Liberia. There are a lot of interesting things that are happening in the country. And we thought it was to make sure that every edition of this program will get you informed about major happenings in the country. So let's now begin with the major headlines. And the first one says here, Information Minister Jerolimic Pia defends President Bwaka use of a private aircraft during his Lofa County visit. The next one says here, CSA, that is the Civil Service Agency Director General, Josiah Jokai, may appear before the Liberian Senate over alleged political campaign activities. The next headlines we have here say Liberia outlines key priorities ahead of its 2026-2027 United Nations Security Council tenure. The next one says here health authorities confirms no Ebola cases in Liberia, but maintained nationwide surveillance measures. And the next headline we have here says the United States donates motorcycles and internet equipment to strengthen Liberia anti-drugs fight. And finally, we have here a former presidential candidate in person of Councillor Tiawon Gonglo criticizes Liberia's governance and rule of law performance. These are the stories that we have coming for you. Let's now get into our first development. That is where the government of Liberia, through the Information Ministry, responds to criticism of the president using an aircraft. And it says the Liberia government in is responding to growing public debate surrounding President Joseph Boaká's recent use of a small aircraft during his trip to Lofa County. Information Minister Jerome Matthew Pia clarified that the aircraft used by the president does not belong to Beer Martin Mining Company as widely alleged on social media, but rather to the humanitarian organization Samaritan's Purse. According to Minister Pia, the decision to use the aircraft was made due to poor road condition and the need for the president to access remote communities in a timely manner. The minister defended the arrangement, saying the government acted responsibly and within reasons to ensure efficiency and security during the visit. However, the matter has sparked fresh national debate over government spending and political consistency, especially regarding previous criticism made by politicians concerning presidential travels arrangement. Meanwhile, another governance related issue is attracting attention at the Capitol building, where Civil Servant Agency Director General Josiah Jokai is expected to appear before the Liberian Senate following allegations that he may have violated Liberia's National Code of Conduct. The allegations stemmed from claims that Jokai participated in partisan political activities connected to President Boaká's re-election campaign efforts. Senator Amara Conan argued that appointed public officials are restricted from engaging in active political campaign while serving in government positions. However, Jokai has denied violating any law and insists that his action remain within legal boundaries. Political analyst says the situation could further intensify discussion around accountability, neutrality in public service, and enforcement of Liberia's code of conduct. And now to this development, Liberia presents priorities at the United Nations. Liberia has officially outlined its major priorities ahead of its upcoming tenure on the United Nations Security Council for 2026 to 2027. Speaking before the Security Council, Liberia's Foreign Minister, Madam Sarah Beslow Yenti, emphasized Liberia's commitment to multilateral cooperation, stronger African representations, and reforms at the global peace and security structure. Minister Yanti highlighted several key focus areas, including the relationship between climate and conflict, women and youth participation in peace building, and reforms aimed at creating a more balanced and equal Security Council. She stressed that African nations must have stronger voices in global decision making processes, particularly on matters directly affecting the continent. Liberia's upcoming role on the Security Council is being viewed as a significant diplomatic milestone and an opportunity for the country to contribute more actively to international peace and security discussions. And to our next development here, it says health authorities have confirmed that Liberia currently has no reported Ebola cases. Despite this positive development, officials warn that outbreaks in neighboring countries continue to pose serious regional health risks. Health Minister Dr. Louis M. Poto disclosed that surveillance measures have now been intensified across the country to ensure rapid detection and response if necessary. Authorities say travelers arriving from affected regions are currently being monitored as part of preventive measures. At the same time, lawmakers are considering emergency procurement measures intended to strengthen national preparedness and improve response capacity in case of an outbreak. Public health experts continue encouraging citizens to remain alert and cooperate with health authorities by reporting unusual illness and observing proper hygiene practices. Liberia's experience during the Delhi Ebola outbreak several years ago remains a strong reminder of the importance of preparedness and rapid response. And our next development here says the United States government has provided additional support to Liberia's anti drugs enforcement effort. Through the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia, the Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency, commonly known as LDEA, received 15 motorcycles along with internet equipment aimed at improving counter narcotics operations across the country. The donation was funded through the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of International Narcotics and Drugs Enforcement Affairs in partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. Officials says the support will help strengthen Liberia's ability to combat transitional organized crime and improve operational mobility for drugs enforcement officers. Drugs abuse and trafficking continues to remain major national concerns, especially among young people. Authorities say stronger partnerships and improved logistics are necessary to address the growing challenges linked to narcotic distribution and organized criminal network. And finally, from our news bulletin here, former presidential candidate and human rights lawyer Councillor Tiawan Gonglo has sharply criticized Liberia's governance and rule of law performance. Gonglo stated that both the Unity Party administration and the former Coalition for Democratic Change government have made what he described as a zero progress in improving Liberia's performance under the Millennium Challenge Corporation governance indicator. According to him, weak governance system, corruption, and declining public confidence continue to undermine Liberia's democratic institutions. He warned that unless serious reforms are implemented, Liberia could face difficulties attracting international confidence and development support. Their comments have already generated debate among political observers and civil society groups regarding the state of governance, transparency, and accountability in the country. And that brings us to the end of the presentation of major happenings in and around Liberia. And I'd like to say many thanks to you for being there as we brought you the presentation of major happenings. Let's now take this break. And after that, we will get into our real talk segment of this program. For today, we are not getting calls from our reporters. Only the two segments we will be bringing, which is the first segment and that of the last segment. So let's take this break. To be right back, after which we get into our real talk discussion on this edition of the program, Real Talk Liberia. Stay tuned. My name is David, and don't you go.
I never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose. Keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia. Talking Liberia the real way.
And I tell you, let's join our hands and be happy for Mama Liberia because this is the only country that we have. And if you allow this country to be destroyed, we will be the one to suffer. We will be the one to run to other people's country. We will be the one to be treated as slaves in other people's country. So it is advisable that we as Liberians put our hands together, put our minds together, put our resources together to make sure that Liberia becomes a better country. That Liberia does not fail. Because if Liberia fail, we all, as citizens of this great nation, will definitely be held responsible. On this light, this is how I would like to welcome you to our Real Talk edition of the program, Real Talk Liberia. And before we get into this segment, I would like to play this interview by Front Page Africa. This interview was done by Front Page Africa, and it was about this lady, this nurse, in person of Paula Bidel, who up to this date, I will say that she is a patriot, a person that means well for this country. And I will continue to say this because what this lady did, I mean, I don't see it as an easy thing, as a common thing for any other person to do. So up to this time, I will always appreciate her for flagging this up by letting us know what is happening in the country. What are the steps? What are the actions that our leadership are taking, especially when it relates to the safety of its people? So let's now listen to this interview by Front Page Africa done with the lady Paula Bidel, a nurse that first broke out the story about people from Uganda entering into the country and not being noticed. Let's listen to her, and after that, we come back to our discussion point. Stay tuned and don't forget.
So yesterday we had a training and slash meeting wherein the nursing directors of GFA, the overall nursing directors, Mrs. Joker and Lulu came along to talk with
You
all
say who?
the nursing directors, Mrs. Joker
And who?
and Lulu,
Okay.
who is one of the managers at GFK.
Okay.
The both of them came along, they did a training. It was an in-service training. After the training, like they brought some PPEs. Yes. So they were like putting us on the alert that, oh, we need to be very careful whilst we giving care. Yes. Even when we're going into any patient, we should have long sleeves on, and we should make sure if we're not okay with any patient, we should get a PPE on to keep safe. Yes. The reason of this alert is because there's some set of group of people that went to Uganda for a conference, and they are being back in Liberia. And these people passed through the airport, and the airport authority, that was Mrs. Joko was saying it. He said the airport authority didn't notice until they already passed. That's the time they noticed that they came from Uganda. Yeah. He said among these people, about 5 of them were sick and was brought to GFK.
You're sick of what?
They were sick and was brought to GFK, and they were showing all the signs and symptoms of Ebola. Their eyes were red, their ears were red.
Who was saying this to you?
Mrs. Joker was saying it to the body, the entire body. Yes, their eyes were red, their ears were red, and all the signs. GFK couldn't handle it, so they had to call the surveillance team and hand over the case to it. Yes, they're just saying it as a way of precaution. So at least everything we're doing, we gotta be very careful. Even though the Ministry of Health have not come to say it yet, but we should be careful because as nurses, we are the first liners. Yeah. So they just thought of telling us. So when I went home, I called my children, I gave them an alert about the present situation that is going on. And I also work at Home for Women. So I decided to
You work at Hope for Women?
Home for Women.
As
yes.
who?
I'm a nurse there too.
Okay.
So I decided to alert my nurses. Yes. So I sent a recording to them, alerting them because like I tried to call, those people were not online in the chat room. So I decided to send a recording to them just to alert them about what is going on because we are nurses. I never did this in any political field. I never did it to gain influence. I only did it to protect my fellow nurses in the other facility that I work. So at least they can be aware. As I said, and I will say again, the nursing director, Mrs. Chuko, was the one that was enlightening the nurses of the present situation and cautioning us. She was the one that made the statement.
So, how JFK get involved into it?
As I said, Mrs. Zuka said, and I quote, there's some set of people that went for some kind of conference in Uganda and they are back. And among these people, 5 of them was taken to GFK because they were sick. Yes. And they came down with all the signs and symptoms of Ebola, and GFK couldn't handle it. So they had to send them to the surveillance team.
Tell you, yes, indeed, this is Liberia for us. This is Liberia for us. You know, there are times that things happen in a country and we tend to take it for joke. We tend to take it for granted. But certain things needs to be taken very seriously as it relates to the health and well-being of citizens in the country. Now, this lady came up with this information and she said, we went for a training, in-service training, and we, as health workers, were told that yes, indeed, the government or those at the port, they made a mistake, and that is they allow a group of people who went to Uganda for a conference. They allowed them, not knowingly but unknowingly, allow them to enter into the country. But when they realized that, oh, these people are from one of the affected country, they began to work to trace them and to put them on a surveillance. So they were advised, they were warned that you people need to be careful. As you treat patients, be careful. At times, if you see the person and you are not satisfied with them, make sure you put on protective clothing or call on the rightful authorities that will be available to help in the process of treating the patient. And this lady said, when she got this information, she felt concerned. So the first thing she did was to inform her children about it. My children, you be careful as you go on campus. You be careful with who you play with. And then the second thought that came to her is that, well, I'm a health worker. I am a health worker. And I have my colleagues out there who are also working in this field. And they may not have this information that I have now. So let me inform them also so that they can be aware, so that they can know that we have a crisis around and that we have to be prepared and aware so that when we see some of these people, we can be able to report them. So she called her colleagues, but according to her, not enough of them were in the chat room. So she decided to leave a voice message so that if anyone comes, they can see the message and begin to take precaution. But then, when she left the message in the chat room, some of her friends that she was trying to inform took that message and began to share it online and began to share it on social media, thereby making the government to see it as a breach of privacy. That things that were discussed in-house, it is now being brought all to the public, and everyone now are talking about it. So what the government did, they arrested Nesbidel. And Nesbidel remained on her statement that the information that she gave out had no political reason, no selfish reason. She only did that because she wanted to keep her colleagues on their guard. But then the government of Liberia came in and said, well, the nurse is lying. We do not have any information of such. But then surprisingly, few days later, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia came up with a press release where they said that they were they had people that have entered the country from countries that are affected with the virus. And these people are under surveillance. These people are on a quarantine. But then this brings us back to Nurse Bidel, where she was brought to public ridicule, where she was humiliated, and people had a whole lot of things to say to her. Only now for the government now to come and confirm it that yes, indeed, people from affected nations are now entering into the country, but they are being placed under surveillance. And as a matter of fact, DR Congo have now put stop to flights going in or going out of the country because of the seriousness of the virus in their country. They have put stop to it. And the government is out and saying that, well, there is no confirmed case yet. We do not have anyone that we can say, yes, indeed, this person have the virus. But what we do have, what we can say, is that we have people that have come from other nations, especially nations that were affected, nations that are currently fighting the Ebola virus. And what we are doing is that we are putting them on a quarantine, we are putting them on a surveillance so that we can observe and see what becomes of them. If they start to show signs and symptoms, then we will confirm that yes, indeed, Liberia have a confirmed case. But up to now, we are still observing people yet. And this was just what Nes Bidel said. She said the government told us that people from Uganda enter into the country and mistakenly the airport authority allowed them to slip. But when they realized that these people were from Uganda, they ran a surveillance and they were able to pick up about 5 of them. But then she was arrested for the same information that is now being given by the same government. That yes, indeed, we have people that we are observing. Yes, indeed, we have people that came from infected nation. So what now can we say to our government? This is a government for the people and by the people. And if the government is not being fair to share information as soon as possible, information that has to do with the safety of its citizens, and when order comes and try to share this information, then the government come and make them look like criminal, the government come and starts to arrest them. I mean, this is wrong. This is wrong. And the government needs to stop doing this. This lady meant no harm. All she wanted to do was to just inform her colleagues that yes, indeed, you guys need to be careful as to how you go around treating people. But then she was arrested and brought to public ridicule, only for the same issue to come up again that yes, indeed, we have people from other countries that are in the country. And then we look and we say, what is the government doing? Does the government mean well for its citizens? If they start to have this information, as for me, what I can say is that the nation were not going to know about these things if Nes Bidel has not come up to say it. But there are a few questions now that we want to ask. And it is quite important that we ask this question, because this is not about only the government, this is about each and every one of us. This is no longer about politics, but this is about the safety of ourselves, our children, our family, and the nation at large. Remember, this is a virus that if it touch one person, the possibility of every other person in our surrounding to catch it is clear. So what are we doing now as Liberians to make sure that we start to put out all of the preventive measures that will prevent this virus from spreading into the country? What is the government doing? What steps are they taking? We do not just want to keep on hearing, we are taking step, we are taking step, we are taking step. No. Or we keep on hearing, we are getting prepared, we are getting prepared, we are getting prepared. No. We have to start seeing the action. We have to start seeing the action. Now we have people from countries that have the virus that they are battling it now entering into our country. Where is the preparedness of our health authorities? What steps are the health authorities taking to make sure that this virus does not enter in the country and do what it did in 2014? What happened in 2014 was because we were not prepared, was because we had no idea about this virus, was because we as citizens were not able or not ready to accept the reality. And now it is coming back again into the country. What is the government doing? What is the health authorities doing to make sure that this time around, citizens get informed on time. Citizens be informed on time. And materials that are needed to fight this be ready and on time. We do not want this to come into the country again, and then before we start looking around to get materials to fight it, because we know once we have started allowing people to enter in the country, people that are coming from countries that are fighting the virus, once we are allowing them to enter into our country now, the possibility of us having an impact that won't be clear. So what we need to be thinking of now is how prepared is the health system to battle this virus again. Ebola has resurfaced. What are we doing? What are the health authorities doing to make sure that this time around, Ebola does not take the amount of life that it took in the year 2014? And this is no longer only about the government. This is no longer only about the health authorities. We as citizens also have parts to play. You, me, and all those that are around us have a part to play in this fight. And if we do not do it, we will be the one to be held responsible. We will be the one to bear the weight. Because whatever happens, it will happen to us too as well. This virus does not choose whether you are from United Party, whether you are from CDC, whether you are from ANC, whether you are from Liberty Party. No. This virus does not pick and choose. It comes and it attacks everyone. So this time around, let's leave the politics being aside. Let's forget about politics. Let's put our hands together and make sure that we keep our nation safe. If not, we will be the one to answer. We will be the one to go through all of the pains. We will be the one to suffer whatever that this virus might come with. So Liberians, others may come to you and say other things, that this is a United Party thing. But at this point, this is a Liberia thing. And we have to put ourselves together as Liberians to fight it. If not, we will suffer. Let's take this break on Real Talk Liberia to be right back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say, Allah, eh. Day and night break, everybody on the hustle. Some people know like peace, they want some trouble. Crime rates on the increase, the government can protect the people. Oh Lord, no justice for the poor. Yeah, love the way we're living, we're treating one another unfair. Like the way we're living, we're treating one another unfair. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Yeah. We have everything in abundance, but we die and rot and greed. We pray, asking the Lord for another Moses, 'cause all we have is pharaohs. Yeah. In our suffering, it's hard to making business out. Yeah. The rich get richer and the poor people suffer. Them promise say, them bring development and better education. Our lands are fertile, no food on the land. Our children, we're pushing into baggage. Look the way we living, we treating one another unfair. Yeah. Love the way we living, we treating one another unfair. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Our forefathers were taken into slavery, but in a modern time like this, we're children and slaves. We're fighting a war not with guns and bullets. The enemies I see are.
All right. Yes, indeed. It's not the way we live in. We are treating each other unfair. We are not fair to our fellow colleagues. We are not fair to our friends. We are not fair to one another, especially when we are from different political parties, when we are having different political affiliation. We tend to look at each other as enemies. And what I see that we do wrong each and every day is that those politicians that we support, those politicians that we defend each and every day, those people they meet at times and you see the laughter, you see the joy, you see how friendly they are. But when they come out and to the public, they start to have this battle of words, and after that they go in their little corner, they are friendly. But those who claim to be the supporters are the ones who are always causing the problems. They are the ones who are always fighting. They are the ones who are always destroying properties. They are the ones who forget about Liberia and want to take their political leader more important than any other thing. But this time around, I say it is no longer a political party thing. It is no longer a political leader thing. This time around, it is a Liberia thing. And if we as Liberians cannot come together, if we as Liberians cannot put our minds, our ideas, our finances, our resources, if we cannot put it together to keep our country safe, whatever happens, we will be the one to bear the consequences. Believe me on this. No matter what happens, we will be the one to bear the consequences. So there are times if we are doing things, we have to think. This thing I am doing, what impact will it have on my country? What impact will it have on my family? Will that impact be a positive one? Will that be a negative one? Those are things that we need to think about. But if we continue to do things just to benefit ourselves, just to fill our own pockets, just to make ourselves feel fine, at the end, what will we say to generations to come? What will we say to our children's when they come and they ask us, Mommy, Daddy, you were here during the time of all of these things. What were your contributions? What did you do? What impact did you make in this whole process that we have come onto this earth to meet? What will you say? What explanations will you give to them? Will it be our focus on defending my political leader? I will focus on defending my political party, so I never care about Liberia? The political party that you are defending, where is that political party located? Where is that political party basing? The political leader that you are supporting, where is that person living? Where can you find that person? Is it not in Liberia? So why are we doing things that will harm this country when even the people we are supporting are in the same country? Even you yourself that want to cause harm, that want to bring chaos, you are also in this country. So why are you not having a second thought? You only think of the $5, the $10 you could earn at that moment, and then you forget about the wider picture. Your family's life are included. So if you cannot join the government effort today, if you cannot join the health authorities' efforts today to protect your family, to protect your community, to protect your home, if you cannot do that today, you will be held responsible time to come. So wherever you are coming across this edition of the program, Real Talk Liberia, let us put our hands together and protect our country. Let us put our hands together, our minds, our resources to make sure that we prevent this Ebola thing from entering in our country. Because this is not a play thing. And if it comes, it will not pick and choose. Once you are in this country, and believe me, this is a fight. Once you are in this country and the health crisis comes, you are vulnerable. Once you are in Liberia and a health crisis comes, you as a person, as a person, we are all vulnerable. Why? Because our health authorities, our health institutions are not ready. They are not built. They are not equipped to stand and fight these health crises. So if we do not join them in a united front to make sure that we prevent the virus from entering into this country, we as Liberians will be the one to cry again. We as Liberians, and the most interesting part is that the commoners, the little man, will be the one that will be mostly affected. Why? Because there are other people who are here, they have money. They could do all they can to keep their and their family safe. They could even travel to other places. But you who do not have the $5, the 500, the 1,005 to buy the plane ticket, you will be the one that will stay here. You will be the one to face the challenges. You will be the one to experience all of the difficulties. So if no one can talk to you to listen, you need to talk to yourself. You need to advise yourself and think, who will be the one to suffer the most if I allow this to happen? Yes, we all agree the government has made a mistake. The government made a mistake by allowing those people to enter into the country through the airport. But now that they are in the country and the government has a hold of them, maybe the few times that they were among us, something may have left behind. So if you see it as a person, do all you can to report it. We are trying our best to get all of the preventive measures and all of the messages from the health ministry. And once we do, we'll start to play it on this platform day and night so that you, our followers, can be informed about every single step, about every single process that are leading towards the whole issue of the fight against this Ebola virus. Because we do not want to take this as play. Because we know what it did to us before. We know the amount of life that we lost. We know the relatives, the friends, the loved ones that we had to let go because of this Ebola virus. And now that we are hearing news of it resurfacing in Africa, we need to stand on our ground. We need to be vigilant. And we need to be ready and prepared to fight it, to stop it from entering into our country again. And so we called on the health authorities. As for me, I say, and I will say this clearly, you people made a mistake. If this lady has not informed her colleagues about this thing, Maybe by now the government would have still been keeping it in secret, not letting the country know that yes, indeed, people from other countries that are affected with the virus have entered into the country. But because this lady came up and exposed it, and I'm not even saying she was not even the one that exposed it, but the person that shared the message from the chat room, we said thank you to that person. Because if that person has not shared that message, it means up to now, we would not have been informed that yes, indeed, people from Uganda or the Democratic Republic of Congo have entered into the country and they are being quarantined and the government is running a surveillance team and all of that. We wouldn't have known about it. We would have been living here innocently. Those people would have been among us. Would have been carrying it on. We do not want what happened before to happen again to Liberia. So please, health authorities, do all you can to make sure that you battle this virus. Let it not spread. Let it not spread. We do not want to hear anything about confirmed case again, please. So if you are to treat them now, begin the treatment. If you are to quarantine them now, begin the quarantine. Don't let this to get on a stage where it becomes very hard for us to continue. That before you start to fight to say you want to continue, no, we do not want that. Now that people from other countries have entered into this country, it is good that we start to take all of the preventive measures to stop it from spreading or going any further. This is my message to our health authorities and to every Liberians. This is not about only the government. This is about us, each and every one of us. So we need to join our hands together and fight this virus in whatever way we can. Well, we do not have time in our favor anymore, so let's take this break. After which, when we come back, we will be doing our closing. I'd like to say many thanks to all those that have been following. We have Vafi, we have Joel, we have Joseph and Malimo. And I say many thanks to all of you for following this live. Keep it up and help us to build a platform. Let's take this break, after which we will be back with our closing statement. Do have yourself a wonderful night.
I never felt a love like this, so peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose. Keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia. Talking Liberia the real way.
And I tell you, yes, indeed, this is the program Real Talk Liberia. This program comes your way every Tuesday and Thursday on Image TV. And this is a 1 hour interactive discussion program where we have series of national issues that we bring to the table and we talk about it. And this program is Vol of Politics. We talk it as we see it. If you do something that is not right, we come up and we talk about it. If you do something that is affecting the growth and development of the country, we come up and we make sure that we talk about it. Free from confusion and suppression. My name is David Siwalu. I am your lead presenter on this program, and I have Vafi Konen that joins in one as we go on to help in the presentation of this program. But wherever you are, however you follow me, I would like to say a pleasant welcome to you and thank you for being there while I was here. Bringing you informations, bringing you educative messages, telling you about what we can do as Liberians to make this country to move further. You know, the power movement of this country is not only about the government, but it's about you and I. And only you and myself can actually do what we can do to move this country forward. Our visitors cannot do it. The foreigners cannot do it. We ourselves have to be in it to make sure that Liberia move further. So whatever that happens, let us make sure that we do it for the growth and development of Mama Liberia. On this light, folks, I would like to say many thanks to you for following us this program, taking a break, and we will be back hopefully next week or Saturday for another edition of the program. Well, we are still trying to see as to whether we can make this a 3 days presentation program, or maybe we will stick at a 2 day presentation program. But until then, my name is David Siwalu, and I would like to say a pleasant good afternoon to you for following us, and thank you, and do have yourself a wonderful time. Stay tuned as we bring you more promo on this platform.
I never felt a love like this. So peaceful and secure.
Liberia, are you ready for the real conversation? From breaking headlines to community voices, from politics and entertainment to youth empowerment and national development. This is Real Talk Liberia, a platform where truth meets the people. Real stories, real issues, real solutions. Hosted with passion, professionalism, and purpose, keeping Liberians informed, inspired, and connected every week. Your voice, your story, your nation. Follow us on Image TV, Real Talk Liberia, Talking Liberia, the real way.
Everybody with your flag, join us, celebrate, raise your hands and be happy. Let's put Liberia first in all that we do. This to the young and the old, the rich and the poor. Let's put Liberia first. I'm begging you, this to the young and the